Imagine a silence so cold it feels like it could shatter glass. The wind is howling, the ground is buried under a foot of snow, and the world seems completely lifeless. But then, you see it, a tiny, shivering bundle of feathers, no bigger than a golf ball, clinging to a frozen branch. Its eyes are closing, its heartbeat is slowing, and it is losing its battle against the frost. This is the moment where one small act of kindness can change everything. A few years ago, a man named Elias was sitting by his fireplace during a record-breaking blizzard. As he looked out his window, he spotted a tiny chickadee slumped on his porch railing. It wasn't moving. Elias stepped out into the stinging cold, picked up the frozen bird, and felt how weightless and fragile it was. He didn't bring it into the heat, which could have shocked its system, but he placed it in a sheltered, unheated box with some dry wood shavings. Hours later, he heard a faint fluttering. The bird had regained enough energy to fly to a nearby evergreen. That one life sparked a mission for Elias. He realized that while wild birds are hardwired for survival and have been navigating these conditions for millions of years, the modern winter presents challenges where a little help can be a lifesaver. To help birds like Elias did, we have to provide high-energy fuel. Sweat, or animal fat, is the gold standard for birds like woodpeckers, chickadees, and nuthatches because it helps them maintain body heat during nights that can last up to 16 hours. You can buy suet, but you can also easily make it at home using simple kitchen recipes to save money. For our Arctic visitors like redpolls or pine siskins, tube feeders with Niger seeds are a favorite, while birds like juncos, doves, and sparrows prefer feeding on the ground. Clearing a patch of snow for them or using a platform feeder helps keep the seeds accessible. Timing is everything in the winter. On a freezing night, birds burn almost all their energy reserves just to stay warm. This is why having your feeders topped up first thing in the morning allows them to refuel immediately. A second top-up, an hour or two before sunset, gives them the extra boost needed to survive the chilly night. Always ensure the seeds are dry, as moisture can cause mold, which is toxic to birds. If you don't have feeders, planting natural fruit-bearing trees like holly or oak can also provide a beautiful and natural source of food. Water is just as critical as food. When natural sources are frozen, birds waste body energy melting snow inside their tiny bodies. You can provide a shallow dish of water or a heated bird bath, but safety is paramount. To prevent electrocution, always use an outdoor-rated extension cord with polarized plugs connected to a GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, outlet. Never add salt or antifreeze to the water. Also, to keep birds from bathing and freezing their feathers, place large rocks in the water so they can only drink. For nighttime protection, you can leave your summer nesting boxes up for bluebirds and nuthatches to use as roosting spots. A great technical tip is to flip the front panel of the box so the entrance hole is near the bottom. Since heat rises, this keeps the warmth trapped inside. You can also build a simple brush pile with fallen branches to provide a natural windbreak and protection from predators. Speaking of predators, ensure your feeders are at least 4 feet above the snow to protect birds from cats, and provide dense shrubs nearby where they can quickly retreat from hawks. Most importantly, our help must be clean and responsible. Feeding stations and bird baths should be scrubbed weekly to prevent disease. If you ever see a bird that looks unusually puffed up, lethargic, or has crusty eyes, it is a sign of illness. In this case, the best thing to do is take the feeders down for a week or two to encourage the birds to disperse, which stops a deadly outbreak from spreading. Wild birds are incredibly resourceful and have survived for millions of years without us. But when we step in with the right knowledge, we become a helpful part of their survival story. If this kind of knowledge matters to you, subscribe, because every week we bring you one more way to help the birds in your own backyard.